and months of music. I'm going to talk about how you can play a song by Lana Del Rey called Sad Girl. And it does start off with these cool little intro licks around some chords. If you wanted to, you could kind of follow those notes by playing open D, and then second on the G, first fret on the B, third fret on the B, first fret on the B, third fret on the B, first fret on the high E, and then back to third fret on the B. It's kind of a little D lick actually. D, A, C, D, C, D. You might want to work that 1, 3 as a hammer on, and then 1 on the high E, 3 on the B, and then we go low E on the third, open D, third on the D, open G, third on the D, open G, and you may want to kind of work that as a hammer on the second fret. So we got the 0, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 3, 0, 3, 0, 3, 0, 2, and then we almost start that over again. 0, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, and then we do the 3, 0, 3, 0, 3, but then we do open G to third on the D the second time. Now if you wanted to back that up with chords, it'd start on a D minor chord. I normally do this first finger on the high E first fret, second finger on the G second fret, and third finger on the B string third fret. And if you show them the D string to the high E string, it sounds like D minor chord and it sounds really sad. Now you may also dig on lifting off the first finger and making that a D sus2, or you could add in the pinky on the high E third for D suspended chord and kind of say some things around D minor. And then from the D minor we'd be going to a G major chord. I normally do this first finger on the A second, second finger on the low E third, third finger on the B third, pinky on the high E third. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord and it sounds really happy. Now you may also dig on kind of putting just the third finger on the high E string third, kind of working that for G. So either one of those is kind of a cool option, but with that fourth finger G, your third finger ends up in the same place between the two chords, between the D minor and the G. So you may kind of dig on that. And through our intro and our verse section, we're just alternating between those chords. There's a couple strumming options you may want to use through the tune. You could work kind of a down count, kind of an 8 down count, kind of a D minor, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, G. I'm adding a little bit of muting to that just to make that a little sneaky with the right hand. G. Or one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, which would be a really slow pace for this tune. But just to try that a lot on the D minor, you'd have down, down, up, down, up, down. Verse progression. We'd have a D minor, down, up, down, up, G, down, up, down, up, D minor, down, up, G, down, up, down. What it really kind of feels like through the tune is something called a 16th note strum pattern. And what I mean by that is if you're tapping your foot at the beat, right now we're dividing that beat into 2 parts with our down, down, up, down, up. 1, 2, 1, 2, and that's called an 8th note. What a 16th note is where you divide that into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one of my favorite 16th note strum patterns is a long down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up. And what I mean by that is if you take the D minor and do a down for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what you'd be doing on the first beat. Then on the second beat, you do a down on 1, down on 3, up on 4. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, down, down, up, down, up. And then on the third beat, you do it up on 2, down on 3. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 up, down, 1 up, down, 1 up, down. And then on the last beat, you go down, up, right along with the 1, 2, 3, 4. So down, up, down, 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 down. So all together, you got down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down. Through that first verse, you have D minor, chord starts on a G minor chord, so all of a sudden the G gets really sad. And if you're digging on the 4-finger G voicing, you may want to just take your first finger and if you lift it up just a little bit, you can kind of kill the sound of the A string. That's one way to kind of work it is the G5, actually, that's a little bit easier. Randomly, the G minor in root position would be taking that first finger from the A 2nd fret to the 1st fret on the A, which is a big stretch, but you could kind of work it that way. If you have a big stretch between 1 and 2, that might actually feel really good for you. Or normally a G minor you would do as a bar chord, and you could do this as a 3rd fret bar, 3rd finger on the A 5th, pinky on the D 5th, and if you strum all those together, that sounds a G minor chord and it sounds really sad. And you may also dig on lifting off the pinky and making that a G minor 7, or you could add in the pinky on the B string 6th fret for a G minor 7. And then from the G minor we'd be going to an A minor chord, and you could do this in root position, kind of your first finger on the B 1st fret, 2nd finger on the D 2nd, 3rd finger on the G 2nd. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A minor chord and it sounds really sad. Now you may also dig on lifting off the first finger, making that an A suspended 2nd. Or you could add in the pinky on the B string 3rd for an A suspended chord and kind of say some things around the A minor. Or you may dig on lifting off the 3rd finger and making an A minor 7. Or putting your pinky on the high E 3rd for an A minor 7 might be kind of a cool option too. Or another option, especially if you're digging on that root position G minor, you may want to use an A7 sus for the A, where you could do first finger on the D 2nd, 2nd finger on the G 2nd, 3rd finger on the B 3rd, pinky on the high E 3rd. It sounds a little bit more unresolved, but that definitely could be kind of a cool option if you want to kind of stay in that root position for the G minor and the A change. Or for myself, actually, I was kind of digging on using the bar for the G minor, and then if you take that shape and slide it to 5th fret, now 5th fret bar, 3rd finger on the A7, pinky on the D7, that's another way you can work your A minor. Or you could lift off the pinky, making an A minor 7, or you could add in the pinky on the B 8th fret for an A minor 7. And then from the A minor, we go back to G minor, but then we go to an A major. And when you play A major, first finger goes to the D on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the G 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the B 2nd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A major chord and it sounds really happy. On the A, actually, you may want to dig on lifting off the 2nd finger, always a dangerous finger to lift. That makes that an A7 chord, or you could readjust your fingers if you're slightly offended. And then 2 could go to the B string 2nd, pinky on the high E 3rd, give a little bit more bite. Or if you're digging on the bars, you could do this as a 5th fret bar, 2nd finger on the G 6, 3rd finger on the A7, and work that for your A7. Or you could even add in the pinky on the B8 and kind of have the A7 there. And you can really work that part in with any of those strum patterns, actually. You can try that with the downs, kind of a G minor, A minor, G minor, A7, or you could try with the down, down, up, down, up, and have the G minor, A minor, G minor, A7, or if you're digging on the 16th, you can have the G minor, A minor, G minor, A7. And from there, then we go into our chorus part. And our chorus starts on a B flat major chord. Normally you do this as a 1st fret bar, 3rd finger over the D, G, and B strings, kind of working that and from 1st fret major bar. Randomly, if you're just starting out, actually, you're like, oh man, I hate bar chords, I really don't want to play them. You could use a power chord for this by doing 1st finger on the A 1st fret, 3rd finger on the D 3rd fret, and kind of work just that B flat idea, actually kind of a B flat 5 power chord. Or if you're digging on the other bars, you could work this as a 6th fret bar, 2nd finger on the G7, 3rd finger on the A8, pinky on the D8. Kind of work that for your B flat. That might make it a little bit easier if you're kind of working that A7 from 5th fret. You just slide up and work the B flat, kind of from 6th fret. And then from the B flat, we'd be going to a C major chord. And normally you do this 1st finger on the B 1st fret, 2nd finger on the D 2nd, 3rd finger on the A 3rd, and if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a C major chord and it sounds really, really happy. Now, if you're digging on the other voicings, actually, for the G, actually, kind of that 4-finger G and working the A7 sus, randomly for the B flat, actually, even you could just put your first finger on the A first fret and then kind of work that top part actually for your B flat major. And for the C, you may want to use a C major 9 where you do first finger on the D second, second finger on the A third, third finger on the B third, pinky on the high third. Might be kind of a cool way to kind of work it to B flat, C, and then we'd be going to a D minor. And this is a little weird timing wise actually too. The B flat kind of happens for, I guess if you're doing the down count, 6 downs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. C lasts for 2, and then we have a D minor for 4, C for 4. So B flat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, C, D minor for 4, C for 4, and then we got a B flat for 4, A minor for 4, G minor for 4, back to A minor, B flat, A minor, G minor, and then we go to an F major. Normally you do this as a first fret bar, second finger on the G second, third finger on the A third, pinky on the D third. If you strum all those together, that sounds an F major chord. That sounds really happy. And you may also dig on using an F major 7, where you can do first finger on the B first fret, second finger on the G second, third finger on the D third fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds an F major 7, which could be a cool substitute for that. Or another possibility would be using an F major 13. This can sound super happy. But we can do one on the G second, second finger on the D third, third finger on the B third, pinky on the high E third for the F. So you want to try and keep it around root position. Actually, that might actually kind of help. Kind of that B flat, A7 sus, G minor using that cheat, A7 sus, B flat, A7 sus, G minor, and then F major 13 on that walk down. And then from there we go back to our D minor. This is weird because now things turn into the 6+2 idea again. So we got D minor 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, C for 2, B flat 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, C for 2, D minor 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, C for 2, B flat 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, C for 2. Another cheat actually that would be cool actually is if you're digging on the power chord ideas, you could use the B flat 5. If you take that shape and slide it over 2 frets to 3rd and 5th, that's a C5 power chord. And if you took that idea and slid it over 2 more frets, that would be a D5 power chord. And for the G, actually, you could use 3rd fret on the low E, 3rd finger on the A 5th for G5. For the A, you could even work the open A and 2nd fret on the D, or you could work the 5th fret on the low E, 7 on the A string for an A5, G5, and then when you get to the F, you could use an F5 power chord, but doing 1st finger on the low E first, 3rd finger on the A 3rd. So if you wanted to make that part really heavy, actually, and just kind of sliding the power chord shape around, you know, D flat, C, D for 4, C for 4, B flat for 6, C, D, C, B flat for 4, A for 4, G for 4, A for 4, B flat for 4, A for 4, G for 4, F for 4, and then the D, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, C, B flat 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, C, D, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, C, B flat 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, C. So we kind of dig on that. Or if you're doing the down, down, up, when we start off, we'd have the B flat for the down, down, up, and then we go to the C for the last down, up. That's kind of what the 6+2 turns into. And then for the D minor C, where we had the 4+4, we just do the down, down up on each of those chords. So it's a little weird because some of these chords are halving one way, some are halving another way. But you got B flat, C, D minor, down, up, C, down, up, B flat, down, up, C, D minor, down, up, C, down, up, B flat, down, up, A minor, down, up, G minor, down, up, A minor, down, up, B flat, down, up, A minor, down, up, G minor, down, up, F, down, up, D minor, down, up, C, B flat, down, up, C, D minor, down, up, C, B flat, down, up, C, through the chorus. Or if you're doing the 16th idea, then on the B flat you could work the down, 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 up, down, and save that last down, up for the C. And then on the D minor, you'd have the down, 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 up, kind of just even split on this one. And then the C with the down, down. So it's a going into our next verse. Now, one other thing I think about adding to the song is bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down of the down, down, up, you're going to bass for the chord. So on the D minor, you'd have the D for a bass. On the G, you'd have the low E string for the bass. And on the G minor, you'd have the low E string for the bass. On the A minor, you'd have the A for the bass. Unless you're doing the low E fifth, or the bar, and then you have low E for the bass on that. And then on the A7, you'd have the A string for the bass. Unless you're doing the bar 5. The low E string for the bass. And on the B flat, you'd have the A for the bass. Unless you're doing the 6th fret bar, then you'd have the low E string for the bass. And on the F, you'd have the low E string for the bass. Unless you're doing the F major 7 or F major 13, then you have the D for the bass. So we tried that verse with just a bass down, up, down, up. We have a D minor, G. Basses to that and make it a bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, or a bass, bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, or a bass, bass, down, down, up, bass, down, up, down. So we tried the verse that way. We had a D minor, G, D minor, G, D minor. Pre-chorus part. So we tried that with the bass down, up, down, up. We had the G minor, A minor, G minor. We hit it with kind of a big hit on the A. It's kind of a big down on that. Or if we tried that with our 16th pattern, we'd have the G minor, A minor, G minor, and our big A. From there, then we'll be going into our chorus part. And if we tried that with the bass down, up, down, up, we'd have the B flat, C, D minor, C. Oh, that is the weird part. You'd have the B flat for the bass, down, up, and then the C for the down, up. And then D minor, you can do a bass down, up. C, you can do a bass down, up. So all the way through that chorus, you have the B flat, C, D minor, work it as kind of the B flat with the bass, down, down, up, down, and then the C with the down, up, down, up. And then on the D minor, you can do a bass, down, down, up, C, you can do a bass, down, down, up, by having it. So B flat, C, D minor, C, B flat, C, D minor, C, B flat. Bridge starts on the F major, but then we go to a C minor chord. And one easy way out on this, actually, you could take the C major 9 that we were doing, and you could take the first finger and either mute out the D string, so that you just don't hear it. That would be like a C5, or C9, C sus2. Anyway, or you could take the first finger and go to the D on the 1st fret and make that the C minor that way, and you got enough stretch. Or normally a C minor you would do as a 3rd fret bar, second finger on the B fourth, third finger on the D fifth, pinky on the G fifth for the C minor. Or you may dig on lifting off the pinky and making that a C minor 7. Or randomly you can even add in the high E on the 6th fret for a C minor 7. So you can do that with the down count even if you wanted to. Kind of C minor. On the down, down, up, down, up. We tried that way, and on that last D minor C, it'd just be a down, down, up on these chords. So we have the F, C minor, F, C minor, F, C minor, F, D minor, C major. We'd have that even split on the D minor C, kind of the bass down, down, up on each of those chords at the end. So we'd have the F, C minor, F, C minor, C minor. So we got a hammer on it. Then we'll be going into our last chorus, which kind of holds on that walk down, walk back up idea. So B flat, C, D minor, C, B flat, C, D minor, C, B flat, A minor, G minor, A minor, B flat, A minor, G minor, A minor. Flat, A minor, G minor, A minor, B flat, A minor, G minor, A minor, B flat, A minor, G minor, A minor, B flat, A minor, G minor, A minor, and then at the very end we have a big D minor chord. But that's the basics of how you get strummed through Sad Girl by Lana Del Rey. So good luck!